In this WrestleTalk news, Jeff Hardy suspended, an AEW star done, a released WWE star is still in NXT, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
AEW star Jeff Hardy was arrested in Orlando on Monday for driving under the influence, violating restrictions placed on a driving license, and driving while his license had already been cancelled, suspended, or revoked. It later came out Jeff's blood alcohol level came in at 0.294, almost 4 times Florida's legal limit. This was Jeff's third offence in the last 10 years, being arrested twice in 2019 while under contract with WWE for public intoxication and the DWI. After initially not commenting publicly on Jeff's arrest, AEW President Tony Khan issued a statement 24 hours after the news broke. "We were able to resume contact with Jeff Hardy this afternoon. AEW does not condone Jeff's alleged behaviour. We've made it clear to Jeff that we'll assist him in getting treatment for substance abuse issues, which he has indicated that he's open to receiving. In the interim, he is suspended without pay, and he can only return to AEW upon successfully completing treatment and maintaining his sobriety." AEW initially received criticism for not immediately publishing a statement condemning Jeff's arrest. Now multiple sites have reported they didn't want to comment until Khan had had a chance to talk it out with Hardy, which is for the best in multiple ways. It prioritizes the vulnerable person's mental state in that moment and allows for AEW to take a breath and not make rash decisions, and possibly because it also saved Jeff Hardy's job. That doesn't necessarily mean Jeff is in the clear upon completing rehab though. Following speaking out allegations against Jimmy Havoc back in 2020, the company initially suspended him while he received treatment and counselling in an effort to overcome the mental health and substance abuse issues in his life, and that his status with the company would be re-evaluated after he successfully completed his rehabilitation. Note, I am not comparing the offences of the two men here, I'm comparing the ways AEW has dealt with past suspensions and rehab courses linked to allegedly criminal behaviour. Please don't cancel me. Fightful have posted an update on the sequence of events that led up to Jeff's DUI. On Sunday, Jeff performed a concert at Dave & Buster's in Orlando. He and his brother Matt then went to the Slamdown 7 wrestling convention nearby. Afterwards, Matt took Jeff to his hotel room and didn't leave until he knew he was safe and sound. Matt then flew back with his family to his home in North Carolina. Rather shockingly, the next part doesn't require a wrestling report write-up, as actual police footage of Jeff's arrest has come out. TMZ have released the dashcam footage from Jeff's DUI arrest in Volusia County, Florida. The timecode shows the incident happened around 10 a.m. in the day, not at midnight like previously thought. If he was driving home to North Carolina, that would have taken him between 8 to 9 hours. In the footage, officers draw their weapons as they approach Hardy's white Dodge Charger, and they mention multiple people had called 911 about his driving. Jeff fails to put the car in park and struggles to get out of the vehicle. He continues to stumble while sitting in front of the police car as he's questioned, where he admits to drinking 2 or 3 double shots of Fireball, maybe referring to the whiskey drink. Later on, he is seen with police in a car park, struggling with basic sobriety tests like standing still while focusing on an officer's moving hand. During this footage, Jeff claims to the officers he was scheduled for a brain scan. Fightful reached out to AEW for comment on this, especially with Jeff reportedly being knocked out during the Young Bucks match 2 weeks ago at Double or Nothing, but they received a no-comment response. AEW is typically very private with medical matters, so the no comment is really a legal necessity. Nonetheless, the fact that he was booked in a ladder match on this week's Dynamite is an uncomfortable black mark against AEW's safety procedures. But AEW isn't the only party that looks bad here. So does the entire United States car rental market. You might think, it's weird how Jeff keeps getting cars considering his recent history of arrests, and you'll be right, that totally shouldn't be happening. Shockingly, Fightful adds that Jeff has kept a physical license to rent vehicles, despite it being suspended following his second DUI arrest in 2019. Because of this, it means Hardy has had no issues renting vehicles over the last several years in both WWE and AEW. To me, this is possibly the most damning part of the report. out. It implies Jeff consciously continued to rent cars despite him being legally declared a danger to himself and other people on the road. There's also the question that if this is the time he was caught, how many more times has it been going on undetected since 2019? Why didn't something flag up with the rental companies? And how did the wrestling promotions or Jeff's fellow wrestlers not pick up on this being a means of transport for him? Jeff's sister-in-law, Matt's wife, Rebby Hardy, has posted a video on TikTok rebutting a social media user's accusation that her and Matt are enablers for Jeff, saying she booked the Sunday event and specifically told the promoter that there shouldn't be any alcohol there. She ensured through handlers Jeff wasn't being served alcohol throughout the night and that her and Matt walked him to his hotel room at the end. Short of having him sleep in between me and Matt, there's really not much more I could have personally done. I am not responsible for the actions of a fully grown adult. The Hardy Boys have been removed from tonight's Dynamite main event ladder match, and Jeff is also expected to be removed from the main event of AAA's Triple Mania this Saturday. Jeff's court date for the DUI has been rescheduled from yesterday to the 5th of July. Thanks for your support on Patreon, Gavin, Cash Money, Cashuabra, and Kick to the Face, Get Off My Plane. You too can get a shout out by going to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. I'd just like to say thank you for everyone's comments on our new format test yesterday, which was me and Pete running through the news on our podcast set. Go check it out if you haven't already. And because you are the authority, we're listening. We're going to pull back on the Kevin Dunn editing. We'll experiment with the background music a bit more. And I can assure you all when we do them, they will be extra videos. You'll always get our daily WrestleTalk news video with all this blue screen, high-level production behind me. Luke and Pete are going to do another one today, so subscribe and enable notifications to see how that one goes. Jeff's arrest, injuries to Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, with the latter having to relinquish his world title, a batch of All Elite originals not having their contracts renewed, reports of talent frustration, everything MJF. The last few months are amongst the most difficult AEW have had to navigate in their short history. Another controversy is the incident with Jake Atlas, who was arrested for domestic violence charges last month when he attacked his boyfriend. He is due in court on the 28th of June. Previously, Atlas was last seen impressing in an AEW ring where he wrestled Adam Cole on the 7th of January episode of Rampage. But during that taping, he suffered a torn ACL. It was only his second match for the promotion, and he's been recovering since. His exact status with AEW following his arrest has been a source of confusion though. Following Atlas's debut, Tony Khan welcomed him to the team with a Jake Atlas is All Elite graphic on Twitter, usually indicating he had signed full-time with the promotion. Fightful now writes, however, that he was only ever on a per-appearance deal that was paused in February following his injury. He isn't expected to return to the promotion following his arrest. It raises another interesting question, though, about how much we should be reading into these "this just released NXT star is All Elite graphics." As this example suggests, they don't appear to be the full-time dream come true contracts I think we had all started to assume. But, as usual, things are even more confusing in WWE. On Sunday night, it was revealed WWE had released NXT star Troy Two Dimes Donovan due to a policy issue. Donovan himself then seemingly confirmed the release, posting, "Thank you to everyone who's reached out. Mistakes happen and lessons are learned. A bump in the road doesn't define me though. I'll be back." But on last night's episode of NXT 2.0, he was still there. Awkward. Tony D'Angelo promoted Donovan to a soldier of the D'Angelo family as a thank you for helping defeat Legado del Fantasma. Donovan then tagged in a losing effort later that night, but don't expect to see any follow-up to that because this was a pre-recorded episode of NXT, meaning Donovan's release will likely be felt from next week. Now find out what Matt Hardy had to say about his brother Jeff being arrested. And now we've had not our first statement from AEW, but a statement from Matt Hardy, his brother. He's tweeted this out that says, "It was disheartening to hear the news about my brother yesterday.